Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to set up a trap to catch coyotes. This is your basic dirt hole trap, and the things you'll need a rod to knock in your. The way I set mine up is I use foot traps. It's basic. It's an MB 550 2-spring offset trap with an anchor I drive in the ground. Okay, so things I use, you need something to collect your dirt in, sift over top of your trap when you get done setting it up. Like I said, you'll need this rod to knock in your anchor. You need some form of a hammer. This is what I use. It came with the set I started up with. I got from Minnesota Trapping Line when I started years ago. Just a hammer you can use to drive stake in, and you can use this to dig the dirt up to put your trap in the ground. And then some form of a shovel. I like this one with the sharp end on it, as you can see, to dig my dirt hole, which will be right here. And the way I'll set this up is, since I've got a log right here, and I've got some kind of log here, and this tree is a back in here, I'm going to make my hole right in there. So my plan is the coyote will come in here, and as he's trying to sniff into the hole, the dirt hole, he'll step right here and he'll get his foot in the trap. So basically what I'll start doing here is, I'm going to go right here to this tree, and I'm going to start digging a hole out. And a lot of guys, some guys will have an auger to do this with, or a drill. That works really good too. I don't have that yet, I just have this shovel, but it does a really good job. And I'm just making a big enough hole to put some bait back in there, enough for them to smell and get them interested in coming here and check it out. So, also the main thing is you need to make sure you work on your scent control. That's why I'm wearing rubber gloves, and I also have a thing for my knees that touches the ground, basically for cushion for my knees, and also it keeps the scent of my knees off the ground. But you want to do the best you can to control scent. That's the main thing with coyotes, is you don't want your scent anywhere else besides whatever you're using for a bait. So they're just sniffing for the bait, and they won't sniff the trap out first. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep as much control as I can off there. Okay, so now that's where my dirt hole is going to be. We'll be back in there behind that. And when I get done with it, I'll cover it up a little bit with leaves, just somewhat, but they'll see a hole, so they'll stick their nose back in there. So I'm going to come out here. I usually go about hand width or maybe a little more. Everybody does different. So I'm going to make my trap. It's going to sit right here, where they'll have to step in. As they come in, they'll step in, they'll stick their nose in there, and they'll get caught right there. The first thing, your trap's going to be about that size, so I've got to dig me out a hole just for the trap. And you need to save your dirt afterwards, because this is what you use to cover your trap up with as you're setting it up. And you want just enough for your trap to be flat, not sticking up too much and not too deep. But you're going to try to make your trap blend in with the rest of the ground once you get done. I'm going to spring my trap and fix it. Also, I like these. I've used different kinds. It needs to be a little bigger. I've used different kinds of traps, but this MB Minnesota brand traps, they're 550s. I like this size, but I'm using 652 now. But I like these traps, and I'll show you here in a minute why. Because they seem to be a little safer in setting for me to not accidentally trip the trap on me. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my anchor and we'll drive right down the center there. This is what holds the coyote here once he gets caught. And depending on what time of year it is, if it's really wet, you gotta take your anchor down really far. But if it's really dry like it is kind of right now, you don't have to go too far because they won't be able to pull it out. But if it's a really wet, soft ground and you don't have it very far in the ground, the coyotes will pull it up. That should be enough. Set my hammer over here, thing. Okay, so here, I'll take it and you want to kind of bed it down good and smooth. And here's why I like these MBs. Most of these traps, I've used Dukes, and I think there's one called Sleepy Creek, but I'm not sure exactly if that's the name of it. But the ones with these I like is because as you're setting this down, the pan that catches it, you go down really slow, it will click. See if I can hear it click before it flips. And it just clicked. Okay, when that clicked, I know it's set, and I don't have to worry about it. And also another thing to do, you always, when you're setting these traps, make sure the jaws are flipped back to where, as you're bringing this pan, this plate here down, that you will not catch your hand as long as this is flipped back. If that was to flip off and go, it would shut, but your hand wouldn't be in there. So then I just sit down there and bed it in. Now it's set. Okay, so then I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna shake it like that, and see, slowly covering it up. Okay, so trap's covered up. Here's a little secret I do. I take a little bitty brush and I make sure I keep all this stuff away from everything so the scent's not a problem. And I'll take this brush and I'll lightly flip this out some here, away from the pan, kind of. See, the trap's right there. I just want to barely cover it up. And so then what I'll do here, I'm going to start blending this in a little bit. You don't want to put too much stuff there because if you have sticks or leaves or any kind of rock debris that when the trap is flipping to catch the coyote's leg, that what can happen is if something's in there and it flips and it catches a little rock or twig or leaf or anything like that, what you'll have then is it won't catch a coyote because basically that has hindered the jaws from grabbing the leg, and it's either kept it from going all the way in or it's kind of made it just enough where he could get out real quick. So now I'm going to just work around here a little bit. So I drop the lead right there. Now he'll try to step right in there, and you want to kind of make it so basically he won't step here, and I'm going to put some of this leftover remnants kind of here and there to try to get him. I've even put rocks random places around. Try to get him, when he comes in, I want him to step his foot right there, flip that trap. Okay, so that's basically it, and all I've got left to do now, I'm going to put my bait in there, and I'm going to leave this side, and I'm going to set some more up over here. So this is how you set up a foot trap to catch. There's other kind of traps you use. You can snare them, you can use a live trap, but now my opinion is I like the foot trap the best. I don't like snaring that works really good, but if you put it in the fence and it's a spot where maybe deer's traveling to, you might accidentally catch a deer instead of a coyote. Never had very good luck with an actual live trap. They're so big, and then you got to put something in there really lure them in. So I've never really liked a live trap. So that's it. It's set up now, and there'll be some more leaves fall, and it'll blend into where you can't tell where it's at. And he'll come in here and he'll look around, and I'll take his twig away. He'll come in here, and hopefully they'll come down. They can't get to it from this side, can't get to it from here. There's a few sticks here, but they'll come in this way and they'll get caught. So thanks for tuning in to Furs and Fins Outdoors.